So far we have discussed organization units, all about resources and setting of work hours and holidays. Now we are going to talk about services, service activities, fulfillment preferences and how to book the services in schedule board. Let's start our demonstration. You can see that we already have few organization units in our system. We also have some resources already defined in our system, and these we are going to use in our service activities. So a service is what organization offers to customers and want to schedule for them. Let's create a service from scratch. Click on manage. Let's create a new service. So what is this initial status region? There are two options, requested and tentative. Basically is how the item appear on the schedule board. We'll talk about this further when we work on schedule board in last part of the video. Let's save it. We can see that now we have one more tab, resource requirements. Click on this. Please focus on resource requirement tab very carefully, as we are going to increment our demonstration step by step. Let's add a subgroup. Let's name it scenario 1. Let's add a requirement over here, person 1. I'll start demonstration with basic information, then I'll add more information step by step. So we have to mention the duration of service. Let's say 90 minutes. We have seen that we have defined many organization units in our system and many resources. So for example, for this case, I want all resources that we are going to use should be from same organization. In that case, I can choose this option. As I mentioned earlier as well, URS, Universal Resource Scheduling, is common for field service and customer service. So few options are more relevant for field service. In our case scenario, we are using organization unit as of now. Okay, we want a person 1 with generic name, and let's choose user here. Rest option I'll discuss very soon. As of now, for this we need a person Karen, and you can see that effort required is 1 by default. Let me save this one. So we have a car maintenance service which have some resource requirement, quite basic one. Let's execute a service activity for this service. As the end user, can create service activity from Customer Service Hub or also from Copilot Service Workspace. And for purpose of scheduling, we have calendar over here. Similarly, in Customer Service Hub. To keep things simple, we are using Customer Service Hub as of now. Click on service activity. Let's create new service activity. For example, test service activity first. And we have car maintenance service for 90 minutes. Let's save it. Once you save service activity, you will see option here, book. When you want to book service, we have two options here. Either we can book from here, or we can go to scheduling. Click here. You will see your service activities over here. You can book also from here. Let's go back to service activities. Click on book. Please notice that as per resource requirement defined in the service, for this service activity, we have resource Karen available. as per these dates and timings. Start time 8, finish time is 9:30 because service is defined for 90 minutes and so on. You can choose from here and book. Let's go back to our demo. In this service, please notice that we have effort required 1. Let's make it 2. Means we need a person with capacity level 2 to perform this job. Save and close. Let's create a new service activity. Click on book. You can see that no resources are available as of now. Since our service, we have mentioned effort required 2. If you go back to resources like Karen, work hours, capacity is 1. Let's do it 2. Let's try this now. Now we can see that Karen is available because now capacity requirement is matching. You can see there are so many options available. You can filter dates from here. I hope meaning of effort required is clear to you now. Let's take one more scenario. What's the next? So now I have to choose any from here. Means for this requirement we have to choose either this subgroup or this subgroup. Here, as per this subgroup we need Karen. As per this subgroup we need a person, any person from this pool. So I hope meaning of all and any is clear to you. Let me add one more item over here, like for example requirement. That's for hardware. I need something from my vehicles. In vehicle resource category I have few vehicles. As per scenario 2, I need one person from engineer pool and one van from the vehicle source category. As per first scenario, I only need one person, which is Karen. Let me save this thing. We can also move this up and down. So why I want to move up and down? System prioritize the first requirement. Moving to secondary only if first cannot be met. So you should be sure about the placement of your subgroups. Save and close. Let's create a new activity. Save and close. Click on book. We can see that only Karen available to us. As per other subgroup, which is a one person from pool and one vehicle that is required by us. So no one available as per scenario 2. Let's go back to activity. So we have option here, sort resource by fever resource first and earliest time first. Let's play with this option. Now we can see that we have two options now. One is Karen, other option is pickup van, which is coming from the vehicle resource category, and one person from the engineer pool. Let's go back to service. So we have seen how to use prefer resources and resource categories. Sometimes you want to find resources based on the characteristics, means skill or certification. You can choose from here. Okay. In scenario 1, we need to find person 1. What if I need 2 or 3 persons? So for each person I have to define one more row. I can also duplicate a requirement from here. Maybe I need in case you need 3 resources, you must create 3 separate resource requirement rows. Or another alternative is you can create a queue. Let me remove this one. You can see that we also have a option here for sorting. So what these options are: does not perform sorting. Second means present a randomized available resources in the calendar. Most busy shows the resource with the maximum booking or most busy person. Least busy shows the resource with least booking or least busy. So this kind of option available and can be used by different industries in different ways. So we have discussed effort required, sorting, preferred resources, characteristics, resource categories, and also you can choose a particular organization resource if you want. In our case, we have defined all resources from same organization unit. Now we'll talk about our next topic, which is the fulfillment preferences. Before this, I'll show you one thing. Let me save this one and go back to my service activity. You can see that I can filter dates from here. I can play with these options. As our service duration is 90 minutes, it's showing me 1 hour 30 minutes. If I want, I can change it from here as per my requirement. Ideal is not to change. Okay, these two option interval and result per interval is coming itself. Let me remove this values which is coming by default. Click on search. Now you can see that availability is coming from 5012 to 631, 502 to 632. So what's happening is checking the current time of the clock. Organizations often use practical intervals such as 50 minute, 30 minute, 45 minute or 60 minute. So booking somebody from 501 to 631 is looks odd, and this is a default behavior of scheduling engine. To solve this kind of problem and other benefits, we use fulfillment preferences. Let me show you how to create that one. Fulfillment preferences, to click on save. Let me define interval over here. Let's say 20 minutes. So what these two options are basically result per interval. So when you choose book option, there are hundreds of options available to you. So if you want to limit the number of options available to you, you can use this option, like how many options a schedulers receive for each interval. Let's say I make it 4. I'm giving save and close. And go back to my service. And here I'll put my let me refresh the screen. FP2. Let's get a new activity. Click on book. Now you can see that this value 20 minutes interval, results per interval 4 is coming from that fulfillment preferences. So either you can define those things by default to apply on service activities, I can modify from here. You see here, because we have given interval 20 minutes, so we're starting at 8 a.m. finishing at 9:30, or in other cases 8:20, 8:40, 9, 9:20, so on. You can play around from here as well. Let's book one of these service from here. Click on book. Go to scheduling. You can see Karen is booked. So you can play with various options on this calendar. Let's go back to fulfillment preferences. So we have mentioned about reset interval per time group detail. So how it works? Let me show you through a picture. So basically, if you set no, let's assume our service is 90 minutes. So if lunch break happen at 12:30, next service will start at 2 p.m. 8, 9:30, 11, 12:30 lunchtime, then 2 p.m. Lunchtime is only 30 minutes. So resources available after 1 p.m. If you mention yes, in that case resource available for 1 p.m. So I hope now it's clear to you what is the meaning of this option by setting no and yes. Let's go back to our service. So we have discussed about all the options, duration, part of same organization, fulfillment preferences, source categories, characteristics, preferred resources, sorting option, and effort required. Please notice that in case of effort required, we have used single user. But in case you are using pool, capacity works in different way. Let me show you through example. So we have option over here, derive capacity from group members, yes or no, for the pool type of resource. So how it works basically? So if you say yes, the capacity is automatic, is based on real numbers, is based on real members, and adjust for availability in real time. If you said no, capacity is fixed and does not change by availability of the resources. So use the option of capacity of the pool wisely. So now we have discussed organization units, facility and equipments, resources, service, business closure, and fulfillment preferences, and resource categories, also known as resource groups. As the end user, you can create such activities from Customer Service Hub and also from Copilot Service Workspace. And also you can do scheduling from Schedule Board. So we have discussed all the components of service scheduling. Thank you.